You can draw a character, but until they move, they remain frozen on the page. By mapping out a specific sequence of movements, you can take a static image and get it moving with purpose across the screen. Today, we are going to build a looping walk cycle inside Adobe Animate. We will break down the mechanics of a single continuous stride, so your character can walk forever without you having to draw every single step. To complete this process, you will need a few things ready to go: a working installation of Adobe Animate, a transparent PNG character file, and an understanding of timelines. Mastering the coordination between these specific limbs is a foundational step in 2D animation. By learning how to rig and loop a walk cycle, you establish the basic workflow used to bring any static illustration to life. Take a look at this character profile. Before we do anything else, import your art to the stage. When you are just starting out, keeping the drawing style really simple, like this clean outline, will save you from distortion issues later. To make this flat image bendable, we need to build a digital skeleton. Press W on your keyboard to equip the Asset Warp tool. This allows us to place pins that act as joints and bones. The most important pin is the first one, the root bone. Click exactly at the base of the character's spine. From that root, build out the body. Place pins where a human naturally bends: the neck, shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, and finally the ankles. When you start posing, make sure your cursor shows the bone symbol before you click. If you accidentally drag a joint instead of a bone, the entire digital mesh will stretch and tear. If your character has parts that shouldn't connect directly to the spine, like an antenna or a loose tail, press the Escape key to drop the current connection, then add a fresh pin where needed. With those pins in place, your flat PNG now has a rigid internal structure. You can grab any limb and bend it into a realistic pose. Now we sequence the poses. Select frame 1 on your timeline and press F6 to insert a keyframe. This is our starting point, known as the contact pose. Look at this white silhouette for the contact pose. This is the moment of maximum extension. Drag one leg fully forward and the back leg entirely behind. The arms must swing in direct opposition to the legs so the character won't look stiff. Next, go to frame 30. Here, in this blue sketch, we see the passing pose. Adjust your character's limbs so they cross over each other mid-stride, simulating the moment the body's weight is supported by just one leg. Pay close attention to the foot touching the ground here. It must stay planted in the exact same position it was in frame 1. If it drifts, your character will look like they are sliding on ice. Move ahead to frame 75 for the final pose. To make the cycle loop seamlessly, this frame has to perfectly match your initial contact pose from frame 1. By spacing out the extreme extension, the passing crossover, and the return to the start, you provide the software with the markers it needs to interpolate the frames in between and create a smooth, continuous stride. If you play your animation now, the limbs loop perfectly, but the character walks in place as if they are stuck on a treadmill. We need to physically move them across the stage. To solve this, we use a classic tween. This tool calculates the distance between a starting point and an ending point and moves the object across the screen at a steady pace. Click and drag your mouse to select your entire sequence of frames on the timeline. Right-click the highlighted area and select Create Classic Tween. Go to frame 1 and drag your character to their starting position on the far left. Then, click your final frame and drag the character all the way to their final destination on the right. The software now merges the local motion of the looping limbs with the global motion of the tweened path. The character's feet will hit the ground while their body physically travels forward. It's time to see the results. Press Ctrl+Enter to render the movie and test your animation in real time. Your once static drawing now breathes, bends, and confidently strides across the digital stage, entirely under its own power. If the walk feels too sluggish or too frantic, you can easily adjust the speed. Dragging the keyframes closer together on the timeline will turn the walk into a brisk run, while spreading them further apart will create a slow, heavy trudge. You just took a single flat illustration, gave it a skeleton, built a mechanical loop, and drove it across an environment. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe to the channel for more animation deep dives.